Characters in this story are Master Rinzin, a monk live in a monastery in deep, dense forest. Daniel, a young man and have many doubts about life problems. Scene 1. The Arrival. A secluded monastery nestled in the hills, surrounded by dense forests and the distant hum of a flowing river. The air is calm, carrying the faint aroma of incense. An old Buddhist monk, Master Rinzin, sits cross-legged under an ancient Bodhi tree. His serene expression is a testament to years of meditation. A 30-year-old man, Daniel, approaches, his shoulders slumped, his face a portrait of despair.
Master Rinzin, I don't know where else to go. Life feels unbearable. I'm constantly anxious, drowning in this endless pit of despair.
Sit, my child. Tell me, what troubles your mind so deeply?
Scene 2. The Burden of the Mind. Daniel sits down, wringing his hands.
I feel like I'm trapped in my own head. Every day, the same thoughts, the same fears, over and over. I've tried therapy, medication, distractions. Nothing helps. I feel like I'm losing myself.
Nodding slowly. The mind can be a labyrinth, its walls built by fear, its pathways shaped by habit. Tell me, Daniel, when did this weight first settle upon you?
Daniel, staring at the ground, I think it began in my late teens. I was always trying to be perfect, to meet everyone's expectations. When I failed, even just a little, it felt like the world was collapsing. Now, it's like my mind has become my enemy.
And have you ever stopped to sit with this enemy? To observe it, rather than battle it?
Sit with it? You mean, let it be? But that's the problem. If I let it be, it consumes me. The fear, the sadness, it's too much.
It is not the storm that destroys the tree, but the tree's resistance to the wind. When you fight the storm, you give it power. When you observe it, you begin to understand its nature.
Scene 3. Observing the storm.
I don't understand. How can observing my pain make it go away?
Master Rinzin, leaning forward slightly, it may not go away, at least not immediately. But in observing, you learn that the pain is not you. Imagine a river. The current may be strong, turbulent even, but you are not the river. You are the one watching it flow.
But what if the current pulls me in? What if I drown in it?
Master Rinzin, closing his eyes briefly, the river's current cannot pull you, and unless you step into it. By observing from the shore, you remain free. The thoughts, the fears, the anxieties, they are like clouds in the sky. Do the clouds control the sky, or do they simply pass through it?
They pass through, I suppose. But it doesn't feel that way. My thoughts feel so real, so heavy.
They feel real because you give them life. You feed them with your attention, your resistance. Imagine a fire. If you stop adding wood, what happens to the flames?
Quietly, they die out.
Precisely. Now, this does not mean ignoring your pain or pretending it isn't there. It means sitting with it, acknowledging it without judgment. When you do this, you take away its fuel.
Scene 4. The Practice of Stillness.
Daniel, pausing, thoughtful. But how do I even begin? My mind is so noisy, so overwhelming.
Begin with your breath. The breath is the anchor that grounds you in the present moment. Close your eyes, Daniel. Breathe in deeply and out slowly. Feel the air entering your body, filling your lungs and then leaving. This is your anchor, your refuge.
Daniel, closing his eyes, trying to follow the instructions. Okay, but my thoughts keep interrupting. They're loud, insistent.
That is their nature. Do not fight them. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating on a stream. Watch them drift by without clinging to them. Return to your breath each time you are pulled away.
Daniel, after a moment, opening his eyes, it's hard. I can't stop the thoughts from coming.
Master Rinzin, nodding. You are not meant to stop them. The goal is not to silence the mind, but to change your relationship with it. With practice, you will find that the thoughts lose their power over you.
Scene 5. Letting go of stones.
Practice. I'm not sure I have the strength for this.
Strength is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the courage to face it. Each small step is progress. Tell me, do you walk through life carrying a heavy bag of stones?
Daniel, puzzled, no, of course not.
Master Rinzin, smiling, yet that is what you do when you carry the weight of the past and the fear of the future. Let go of the stones, Daniel. The present moment is all that truly exists. In it, there is peace.
But what if I fail? What if I can't do this?
Failure is simply another teacher. It shows us where we still cling, where we still resist. Do not fear it, for it is part of the path. Even the mightiest tree begins as a fragile seed.
Scene 6. Embracing imperfection.
I think I understand. It's not about perfection, is it? It's about learning to be okay with imperfection.
Master Rinzin, smiling warmly, exactly. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. Embrace its impermanence, its unpredictability. In doing so, you will find freedom.
Daniel, taking a deep breath. Thank you, Master Rinzin. I'll try. I don't know if I can, but I'll try.
That is all that is required. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Be kind to yourself, Daniel. The path unfolds with patience.
I'll remember. Thank you.
May you find stillness within the storm, my child. The answers you seek are already within you.
Scene 7. The first step. The scene fades as Daniel sits quietly, the sound of his steady breathing blending with the rustle of leaves and the distant river. For the first time in a long while, a small sense of hope begins to take root in his heart.